Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This has been a show where I talk about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of Happy. A great episode. A lot of interesting things went down in this episode, so let's break everything down bit by bit. For one, there's kind of a thing at the beginning that kind of immediately caught my attention, because obviously last episode I brought the whole fact is, I think the reason why Nick is able to see Happy is because Haley believes in him as much as she believes in Happy, so it kind of transfers and kind of gives him some of that ability. But then Happy said something in this episode that kind of caught me by surprise. It's like this Santa we saw at the end of the episode could see him, and last week I was like, okay, so maybe it's because there's something else going on with him, the reason why he can see Happy. But it's like, no, because even Happy's like, no, the only way you should be able to see me is if you would have to believe in me. So then it begs the question, does that mean Nick believes in him? But it's like Nick kept denying it, or is it just because Nick's a little crazy that he was able, so he somewhat believed it whether or not he would admit it or not, because his world is so turned upside down, or maybe because he's so desperate to believe in anything that he believed in Happy, whether he wanted to admit it or not. Or is that also just saying the fact is that the Santa dude is just crazy, when the fact of the matter is it seems like he just is too. So I'm still confused about the whole situation. I still want to lean to the fact is because Haley believes in her dad so much and believes in Happy, it just kind of works like that. Because she believes in her dad so much, it kind of transfers that ability of belief to him and he can see Happy. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I'm still going to stick for that for a while. But it might legitimately end up just being like a, oh, he's crazy thing. So it's unfortunately for him that Happy did what he did. I did not expect that Santa dude to just eat it. I was like, oh my God, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? I was like, oh my God. For some weird reason, I thought he's like, oh, I'm going to take your horn, I'm going to ground it or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know why that immediately went in my mind, but I thought he was going to break off his horn or something. I don't know, like, Final Fantasy X Kimari style, like hornless type of situation. Don't know why. I thought he was going to do something weird with it, like use it as drugs or something like that. I forgot, was that a robot? Somebody used that as a joke. I want to say it might have been Robot Chicken using unicorn horn as like aphrodisiac or something like that. Nevertheless. But I did not see him actually eating him. It's like, it also begs the question, like, in a weird way, it's like, what would an imaginary friend taste like? Would I eat an imaginary friend? No, that's weird and disgusting, especially because they're, and what's the word I'm thinking of? It's going to bother me. Is it personification? What is it? Is that it? The word that means like something is human-like. It has its own, like, it's living. I forgot what the word is I'm thinking on, blinking on it and looking like an idiot. Who cares? Nevertheless, that plus it just be weird. But luckily for Happy, he crawled out and he was able to save Nick, because that dude was close to killing Nick. So, some other interesting things that went down this episode. It turns out, I ended up looking back in, earlier, in the series I'd referenced, I thought the fact is all of this was connected. Blue, the Santa, these demons and stuff like that. I felt like it was all connected. I was like, no, it seems like Blue's his own thing. Turns out in fact, I'm wrong. Actually, Blue is connected to the Santa. It seems like that whole kidnapping children thing is part of whatever the hell Blue and Mr. the Bug is, which I was like, wait. I was like, wait a minute, is he a real bug? Because this is before he kind of was still in the shadows. I'm like, is he a real bug? It's like, no, he's just a weird dude in a bug costume. And the moment the door opens up, it looks like there's like a dress, like a cosplay bug. I mean, that wouldn't count as a furry thing, would it? But like, it definitely like a cosplay type of like sex orgy party or something like that. Because Blue was almost looking like, wait, what the? When he saw the bug leave. So it seems like this whole situation with the kids and everything is connected to whatever Blue and Bug are up to immediately, because they want the kids kept in a very good condition. One or two things. One, they're selling the kids as work labor or something like that. Two, I'm thinking, what if this is some kind of like twisted like adoption scam where they like sell kids off to like people who want, children or whatever. It's like, oh, you pay this amount of money and we'll give you these kids or something. It's like, I'm curious what that was all about, because I was wondering, I was like, is this Santa dude going to eat the kids or something like that? Which once again, still trying to frame, is he like something else or is he human? He can't be just human. Like I said, I feel like last time I thought like, okay, we know he had a normal dad, but like maybe his mom was something else. Or maybe the fact of the matter is because his dad was such a piece of crap human being, like it summoned a demon or something. Like, I'm curious about how that works in this world, because Mikey brought it up in the first episode that there are devils amongst you. Was like, well, do these devils possess people? If you're an evil enough person, will it possess you? Was that Santa possessed by a monster, or was he a monster or a demon and no one knew about it, and that evil transferred it to his son? Or is it just because the evil was in him, then it manifested it? There's so much to that. I'm curious to find out. I'm probably like way overcomplicating it, but nevertheless, I'm curious to find out, especially the way he changed his voice like that, like it was some kind of ability. The way he tossed Nick around with like superhuman strength like that last episode, it's like definitely not normal. So it does beg the question, like, how does that whole situation work? I mean, does that mean Blue knows, and does Blue and Bug know that he's not normal? Or is that just something kind of under wraps? Like, what's up with that? I mean, because the Dawn knew about there being devils. He told that to Mikey, so who's to say anyone else, and like, especially Blue, who's to say no one else in the Scaramucci family knows about it? I mean, we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But I'm also curious to see, like, who the hell is Mr. Bug, and like, what does he have to do with all of this? Like, besides this whole kids thing, like, what is the purpose of the kids then? Because he is going out of his way to keep them in good condition and good health. So I'm curious about that. I also appreciate the fact that he got super, super pissed at Blue because Blue's sister Isabella, which I see that actress in so much. I need to learn her name. His sister is on a reality show called the Secrets of Sussex. Sussex, the town, the city in New York, which also makes me wonder, is that, like, I initially read it, I forgot, like, Sussex is a real place, but then I was like, is that supposed to be a play on the word success? I mean, like, now, like, is it, the name of the city, Sussex, as well as the word success? I wonder, was that supposed to be a play on words, or was it just simply like, no, because they're from Sussex, there's no other thing about that. But, threw me for a loop finding out, like, because they had that whole reality show thing happen. I'm like, what is the point of this? I was like, that's weird. And it's like, oh, Isabella, that's the boys from the beginning. That's their mom. Oh, that sucks. I even love the fact is no matter what, she's keeping the cameras rolling, even when she's going to visit her sons in the morgue. I'm like, that's a little messed up. Even Blue is like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be doing that. And I love the fact is they're immediately blurring his face on the camera and everything. That's what Bug got super pissed about, because it's like, I don't care if they put that blur. I still know that's you. He's like, you being exposed out there is like, I mean, it's like, that's saying a lot too, but I guess like, Blue can't really do too much about it because his sister's putting herself out there, so it kind of inadvertently puts him out there. But I love that moment of like, she's crying her eyes out, oh, my boys, they're gone. And then the guy's like, okay, cut. We got it. Okay, good. Like, Isabella, I need you to come outside. It's like, that is cold-hearted. That is super messed up. You see her bawling her eyes out, and you're like, okay, good. Oh, my God, we got the shot. It's great. Which I guess is kind of a jab at just how reality TV is, like, done like that. It's crazy. But then she's having that moment at dinner with them, and then you have Blue kind of turning it on her, be like, it's kind of your fault. Your sons are dead. It's like, yeah, God is punishing you. This is all God coming back at you, because it's like, I've done some despicable things in my life, but what you're doing, this reality TV show thing, it is the lowest of the low. I would never do something like that. And it's like, this was God's punishment. Like how he punished Egypt way back in the day for their transgressions. This is your I was like, that sucks. I still don't know whether that's his sister or his sister-in-law. I kind of get the feeling it might be his sister-in-law. I would just assume with the whole marriage thing, her last name being Scaramucci and everything, it's like, not unless it's one of those situations where it could easily just be like, well, she got married, but she kept her last name. It's just because I'm going by like what traditionally happens. Doesn't mean it always happens, but I'm kind of thinking more so that's Blue's her brother-in-law, but that could just be straight up her brother, which either way, that still is super messed up, because like, you hired Nick to kill them, and now you're trying to pretend like it wasn't you, which she has a feeling it's Blue. Like, I think she doesn't 100% know, she doesn't have any proof, but she had a feeling. So it was also interesting too, because she got visited by that lady. She visited that lady later in the episode, and the lady's kind of like a psychic and ended up tapping into it. And it's like, oh yeah, the person, your true enemy is in your house or whatever. So it's like, at first I was like, oh man, this is bull. And it's just like, and she said that, I was like, oh no, there's something here. And like, yeah, your 3 sons. And I'm like, she is lying. You're going to think she's lying because she said you're 3 sons, but you have 4. And it's like, no. And it's just like, no, your 4th Mikey, he's not with them. And I'm like, oh, is that supposed to mean he went to like heaven and he's in hell or something like that, or he, that's what I was thinking. But then it's like, in retrospect, it's like, well, they weren't good people too, so why would he go to hell more than they would, or something like, that kind of went back in my mind in that sense. And then she goes back and checks, and Mikey's body isn't there. So it's like, whoa, what is up with that? So two things: either Mikey wasn't dead the entire time, which she saw his body, so not unless Blue set this whole thing up to make it seem like Mikey's dead. But if Mikey wasn't dead, he would have just gotten the password from Mikey, because Mikey knows the password. Hence what started this whole thing in the first place. Yeah, because originally Mikey wasn't supposed to be there. He was actually supposed to go visit Blue. I am curious to know. I kind of get the feeling like, since Blue already set up the other three to get killed, the moment if Mikey had went to Blue, Blue would have most likely just killed Mikey himself, just so that no one else would be tempted to get the password. Would he have because the whole point was to give it to Blue, wasn't it? Now Don gave it to him, but maybe the point wasn't I know Blue wanted to see him, but I don't remember. Do correct me, but Mikey going to see Blue because he was going to give the password to Blue? Because I could have sworn it was just like Blue was like, no, the moment you come to town, I need you to talk to me. I need to talk to you. I thought that was kind of that thing. Maybe it was explicitly being like, no, I'm going to give you the password, but I kind of get the feeling like that might not have been the case. Either way, I still kind of get the feeling that he would have killed Mikey after he got the password anyway, just so no one else potentially got it. So still don't know exactly what the password is connected to, like what is actually a passcode to, like to a save, to something, because the fact is all we know is that Blue needs it, so basically he can run things. Basically all the power can be his, like it's the key to running like the entire Scaramucci family, and having Dawn level power and more. That password will ensure that he gets power and he gets to keep it, essentially. So I take that back. So it has to be the fact is that whatever happened to Mikey, he didn't come back as himself. So whether he's possessed by a devil, monster, whatever this situation is, maybe Mikey wasn't 100% human to begin with, but it's like, why are you coming back to life now then? So there's something to that. I'm curious. Especially because the spirits are like, oh, he's not here with us. So that means his spirit went to his body. Maybe someone resurrected him in some shape or form. I don't know. And so I'm definitely curious to see where that whole situation goes. Obviously, you have Nick going through like all those situations he did in this episode. That was so interesting, learning about the fortune cookies. I love that. Like, obviously, Nick's not big into fate and believing in all of that. So he's running his mouth, and the lady's like getting all in his face. Oh, you think I don't know how to handle a skeptic? He's like, I'm kind of rock hard right now. I'm like, oh, dude, you're so weird. You're so disgusting. Don't. But nevertheless, it was kind of interesting what she was saying. Like, oh, you think we hand out fortune cookies like by accident? It's like, no, there's a time and a place for them. They are meant for the people they're specifically meant to. So she keeps records of where all the fortune cookies go. And I was like, that's very interesting. Like I said, I like it because it's doing a little world building, kind of explaining more and more that there is more to this world. This world isn't 100% normal. It isn't just these isolated things. There's a lot here that's not right in this world. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And also the fact is that Happy is decent at the Mandarin. To be fair, this is, probably like basic level Mandarin, I feel like a lot of Asian languages are, that's always been my perception, that Asian languages are always, seem like some of the hardest languages to learn. Just because there's so much, especially because especially how there's a lot of things in English that have double meanings that are similar words, like the word to and do, like the number 2, TWO, and then there's the TO, and then there's TOO too. So kind of like that, you take that and you apply it to other languages, especially something Asian. That's going well off book here, and I do apologize if we went on a huge tangent like that, but it's just, I don't know, it's impressive. But you can tell, I was like, well, Haley's a little girl, so they're not going to go too far, but hey, maybe she's super smart and they're just taking, I don't know, even that level of Mandarin, I think that's still super freaking impressive. That's definitely more Mandarin than I can speak, because I can't speak a lick of Mandarin, so that was sick. But I love that guy in there being like, oh, we gotta call a triad. That's Nick over there. Christmas has come early, and dude's like, dude, I'm Buddhist. It's like, idiot. It's an expression. And then the triads all trying to get to Nick. And he kind of essentially makes a racist joke about it's like, oh, if there were 6 of you, it'd be like an egg roll or something like that. He's like, yo, that's messed up. It's like, really? You're trying to kill me and you're coming at me about that? It's like, well, come on, Nick. Just because they're trying to kill you doesn't mean you have to say something racist. Once again, also showing you how good Nick is in a fight, though. Like, I mean, he plays a little dirty. I love that dude. I love that moment too, because it was like an Indiana Jones moment, which is weird to reference considering I've never really sat down and watched every single Indiana Jones, but I've seen all the previews of it, and it's always kind of my favorite part of it. Like the dude doing all those moves. This guy was flipping all over the place, comes up to Nick, and Nick just kicks him in the nuts. But it's also super messed up when he was fighting with that guy who, like, he had fought with the guy who has the knife, has stabbed a dude a couple. The dude's dead, and he's holding him like a puppet to stab other people. I was like, that's super messed up. And then the final guy, I kept thinking in my head, oh, Nick's gonna be the one that gets hit by the truck. A truck's gonna come and Nick's gonna get hit by it. I was like, oh, I'm surprised not. Oh, I guess not. And it's like, oh, this guy is, and bam, he gets hit. I'm like, I figured as much. So. But I do like there is some level to this whole thing, like mysticism to it, because it's like, oh, next time try to duck, and it's like he ducks, and the dude that was going to be his lead gets a knife in the chest. That's super messed up. And then later on, like he can't get the lighter started, and Happy's doing his like hope dance, and then like the lighter won't light, and he lights it, and then there's lightning in the air, and it like all happens while he's pointing at one particular sign, which told him where to kind of go to track down Santa. So I thought that was so interesting how that worked out like that. I mean, it was a sign. Just when he had given up hope is kind of the whole point. So, but that wasn't the only things that went down this episode too. There's also like Mary and Amanda. They make a really good team. Like, I love that. Once again, kind of the serendipity of things. It's like, dude, I don't know what to tell you. All right. I can't just investigate every family with a missing child thinking that the guy who drops off the letter is just going to randomly show up and then immediately shows up. And even they're standing there like, oh, wow, that really just happened. I felt so bad for the dude. The moment he was like, yeah, I play the piano. I'm like, oh, God, they're going to mess up your hands, aren't they? And it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to mess you. I was like I saw the most, like I thought the point was going to put the wheel next to his hand and start revving it up and like crush his fingers like that. And didn't even think about sticking his hand inside the wheel like that to do that. But nevertheless, kind of shows you how desperate they are. They kind of went all like good cops, but crossing that line type of level. I mean, I'm saying that, but it's not like Amanda's a cop, and Mary kind of definitely crosses that line a lot. So I'm sure that wasn't anything out of the ordinary for her. And for Amanda, she's a mom looking for her daughter, so it's that situation. I'm gonna do whatever I want to. But that whole situation just seemed like that'd be something out of like a cop drama or something. That in particular, just I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Once again, it's so weird, especially last episode, but even this episode, seeing them team up and work together. It's like you hate each other, but you actually make a pretty good team. And then you have him having Mary tell Amanda to kind of get out of the way, just go back home. But part of me also thought like, yeah, because you want to track down Nick. I mean, that's what this is all about. I mean, lucky for her, Smoothie left anyway because Blue called him off because it's like, yo, we got a clean house. Like, we're drawing too much attention. The Smoothie's like, well, you sent me here to look after Mary's mom, to be here just in case, and now you're telling me to leave. Which does that mean that no one's watching Mary's mom right now? I don't know, not unless Smoothie left someone else. Also looks out for that guy who happened to horribly just drop by and Smoothie was about to do his thing with him. So luckily for him, not unless Smoothie was like, okay, I can't do the way I want to. It seemed like Smoothie just bounced afterwards, but not unless he did his thing. It was like, you know what, let me just do this quick work, whatever. So that's interesting. But I also appreciate the fact is that Nick and Mary found their way to each other. Wasn't expecting. I kind of figured they'd bump into each other, but I thought it was going to be a situation where like Nick tracks them down, but the Santa gets away, and before Nick can go after them, Mary shows up, and then she stops and is like, nope, you're coming with me. But it's like, oh, I gotta save. But it's like, no, she's trying to do things her own way. This is all for the purpose of getting Nick, but she is also trying to help out because she went there especially to get Haley. So it's not like she ran off on her own to look for Nick. I mean, truth be told, I guess she figured if she could get Haley, maybe she could use Haley as a means to drawing Nick out or whatever. Because it's not like she knows that Nick is looking for Haley. They just happen to bump into each other. Well, bumping is kind of like not the right word to say, especially because she stabbed him in his, my good leg. Things are definitely going to get complicated next episode. Not only did he take the kids, and it's like, well, how do we find them now? Well, the fact is, we know this is connected to Blue. So I was like I said, everything is coming together. Mary's got it once this is all for the sake of kind of getting Blue out of her hair. But it's like, well, Blue's connected to this. And if she helps Nick take care of this situation, she's going to be helping herself in a way. But for her right now, her main focus is probably getting Nick to Blue. So I'm very interested to see what goes on in the next episode with this whole situation. Maybe we'll actually get to finally find out what happened between Nick and Mary, like how he ended up losing his job and just basically his life hitting the crapper that it did. So I'm waiting for it. I'm thinking Mary's probably going to play along for a little while, but then eventually just turn her back on Nick the moment she gets a chance to. Like I said, we will just have to wait and see. And it sucks because they were this close. Once again, whatever that Santa dude situation is, I'm curious, would bullets even be enough? Dude's pretty damn strong, so, like I said, not normal there, but we will just have to wait and see. Sadly, there won't be an episode next week, but there will be one the week after next, which will be on January 10th. So keep that in mind. No episode next week, but an episode the week after that on January 10th. So, but really, that's all I want to talk about in this episode. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.